Hey team, Pound USD. This is a really interesting analysis, and the reason why it's interesting is because it's a big lesson. Whenever I give you guys an analysis, it's really a key to knowing what direction we expect price to go. Meaning, if overall we expect price to go long, you may find on the lower time frame entries long, which correlate with our higher time frame analysis. So please watch this as an important lesson. Here we go. Hey team, we're on Pound USD starting on the weekly chart. This is a lesson and let me explain. Now, recently the team received an analysis from me that said when price breaks its weekly mid-range zone to the upside, this would be considered a push. We then wait for exhaustion and price action confirmation to the upside. Now, this analysis came from how we usually come up with analysis. We identify market flow and structure from the monthly down. So when I sent the analysis, I said we have to stay patient and wait for price to break this weekly mid-range zone to the upside. And why do we have to stay patient? Well, we know that this is an area of sensitivity, hence why we've identified it as a zone, meaning that when price reached this zone, there would be sell sensitivity in the market, which would push price back down. But does this mean our overall analysis is incorrect? No, it doesn't, which means it gives us an opportunity to enter long because we've done our overall analysis if there's an opportunity that makes sense. All right, so I just want to quickly go through the thought process of this as an FXG member, which you guys are, okay? So David sent out an analysis saying that once price breaks this weekly zone to the upside, we're going long, okay? And we know this because analyzing all time frames, all structure, and all flow, we see that prices failed to break this zone to the upside yet, because we know that this is an area of sensitivity, which means this move is pretty standard. Now, we know that price is likely going to be breaking this weekly zone to the upside at some point. We know that after a push, there's always an exhaustion. So here we see a push to our weekly zone. Here we see an exhaustion off our weekly zone. There might be a good potential entry to the upside. So let's take it down a time frame. So we've taken it down a time frame onto the daily. This looks a bit messy. Let's clear it up. Okay, so we cleared it up. We know that our analysis tells us everything is going long, so there might be an entry if area sensitivity tells us so. So the first thing we do is we want to identify that area of sensitivity. And first thing I can see here are these higher lows, so we can identify our uptrend. Are we done yet? No. I can also identify lower highs, so we can identify a downtrend. You see, so now things get interesting. Now we have a squeeze. We know that this is a higher time frame push. This is a higher time frame exhaustion. What's after a push and what's after exhaustion? That's right, a continuational push. So we know that if price breaks this squeeze to the upside, we're going to see price make its way at least to its weekly mid-range zone, which correlates to our higher time frame long from our previous analysis. Okay, good. So we know that once price breaks this squeeze to the upside, or I should say if price breaks this squeeze to the upside, we're going long. Now, are we done yet? No, that's right. We're missing our 4-hour mid-range zone. So we're looking for area of horizontal sensitivity. Okay, good. We identified our 4-hour mid-range zone. We identified the squeeze. So we now know how our trade should look like based on structure and area sensitivity. So now let's take it down to the 1-hour time frame to look for the best possible entry. All right, we've taken it down to the 1-hour time frame. Here's that squeeze, and here's that 4-hour mid-range zone that we've identified previously. Okay, so now everything makes sense to me. And as I explain why it makes sense to me, I want you to think of our previous analysis, which has us going long. So this makes sense if price breaks not only this 4-hour mid-range zone to the upside, but also this downtrend, aka the squeeze to the upside. This would be considered a push. Why is this a push? Because it's a significant move. It takes a lot of energy to break above not only the downtrend, but also the mid-range zone, because we know that there's going to be a lot of sell sensitivity, okay? So once price breaks and closes to the upside, this is a push. We wait for exhaustion and price action confirmation to the upside. Bullish engulfing candle close. And then we go long, and this is a good long because it correlates with our previous analysis on the higher time frame, which also has us going long. So in simplicity, stay patient. We let price play in between the lines as much as it wants. Once it breaks the downtrend and the mid-range zone to the upside, that's a push. Wait for exhaustion, price action confirmation to the upside. SL moves to entry once TP1 has reached.